Hello everybody and welcome back to the second shelf and to another new books video. It's the 5th of December today, and for those of you who might be new to the channel, TBR for the purpose of this video means to be released. So what I do is at the end of each month, or like now the beginning of a new month, I look at the new releases and then I pick a couple that I personally find interesting and I share them with you. And I have to say that December there's not an abundance of new releases in December. If you look at Amazon, for instance, the releases, there's not that much in December. January will hit us with a ton of new releases starting on January 1st. But for some reason, I think because of Christmas and people are preoccupied with the holidays, so publishers think, well, December is not a good month to launch a new book. I don't know. But anyway, I found 4 books that I personally thought looked interesting. And we start off, as always, with literary fiction, and this time with literary fiction / historical fiction. And I'm, of course, talking about the new book by Diane Satterfield, Once Upon a River, which came out yesterday on the 4th of December. Diane Satterfield, you probably know her or have heard of her because of her best-selling novel, The 13th Tale, which was published in 2006. I read that book, I think a couple of months ago, 1 or 2 months ago. I really liked it. I liked her writing style. I was late to the party because 12 years late. But when I saw that that a new book by her is coming out, I was excited for it. Once Upon a River is set in the Darwinian age, which means mid-19th century, and it takes place in a small town upon the Thames. There's an inn called the Swan, and in a dark winter night, a stranger comes into the inn. He's injured and he carries the corpse of a child, a dead child. And then something strange, miraculous, mystical happens because the child comes back to life. And from there, the story takes off. It's marketed as a modern fairy tale, which sort of fits the description of the 13th Tale as well. So I expect there will be a combination of magic, but because we are talking about the Darwinian age, also magic and science. I don't know much more than that, but I really enjoyed the writing style of Diane Satterfield in the 13th Tale, so I'm excited for the new book, Once Upon a River. We stay with historical fiction with the second new release that I picked, but this time it's historical fiction / crime. And I'm talking about Dana Stabanov's new book, Death of an Eye, which will be published tomorrow on the 6th of December. And it's the first one in the new series, The Eye of Isis. Dana Stabanov is an Alaskan author and probably most famous for her series, Kate Shugak series, a mystery thriller series set in Alaska. And I think there are, I don't know, 15 books out in this series, but this is a new one. And as the title suggests, Eye of Isis, the title of the series, it's set in Egypt around 50 before Christ. So we have Cleopatra ruling Egypt together with her brother, and then the eye of the queen gets murdered, and then we have a murder mystery set in that place. Now, I'm fascinated by ancient Egypt, I have to say. I read a lot of books, non-fiction books about it, and I have yet to read a really good historical fiction book set in Egypt. For some reason, I tried a couple, but they never appealed to me. So I have really high hopes for this one, and I hope it won't disappoint me. But we shall see. But anyway, if you are also interested in crime, historical crime, and then set in an unusual place, ancient Egypt, featuring, famous people like Cleopatra, and so that sounds fascinating, I think. And therefore, this book made the TBR pick for December. And for the third book, we stay with crime, but this time not historical fiction crime, but crime set in the present, and that is Tammy Hoch's new book, The Boy, which was also published already yesterday on the 4th of December. Tammy Hoch is an American author, crime mystery novels. She has written multiple series, the Kovac and Liska series, for instance. Excuse me, but this one, The Boy, actually picks up a protagonist that she has featured in a book, The Dark Thin Line, 10 or 11 years ago. I think 1997 the book came out, featuring two detectives, Nick Foucault and his wife Annie Broussard. And the book is set in Louisiana in a small town, Bayou Büro. And this one is now the second in the series, but I think you can start with the second one because it's been so long ago anyway that the first has been published. It features a murder, the murder of a young boy, PJ, 7 years old, and his mother Genevieve survived. She claims that an intruder had come to the house and murdered the son, but there's something fishy about her statement. And then the next day, PG's babysitter, Florette, goes missing, and the story takes off from there. I like crime fiction, and I like Tammy Hoch's very down-to-earth, fast-paced crime novels. So I'm really curious, and I was excited that she picked up, you know, this detective couple from 11 years ago, and obviously now is reinventing this series, or I'm lacking for words, but anyway, she's reviving. That was the word I was looking for. She's obviously reviving this detective couple for a new series. So I'm excited for it, and I think December is a perfect month, you know, to read a really fast-paced crime book. So here we go, The Boy by Tammy Hoch, published yesterday. And the fourth book, last but not least, as always, we end with sci-fi, science fiction. Those of you who know me know how much I love science fiction. And for December, I picked Mira Grant's new book, The Kingdom of Needle and Bones, which will come out on the last day of the year, the 31st of December. For those of you who might not be familiar with the name Mira Grant, you might know her. She also writes under the pen name Senean McGuire. She writes sci-fi, horror, sort of mixture, weird. I mean, I don't know whether she is one of the new weird authors, but I just love her style. It's always surprising. And the new book, Kingdom of Needle and Bones, is a short book. It's a novella, I think 150 pages or something, and it's about a virus, an outbreak, and we have a patient zero, and the blurb says, and we live in a world of monsters, and it's Mira Grant, and that's basically all I need to know. So those were my 4 picks for the TBR, the to-be-released books in December. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know whether any of the books interest you, or whether you have new releases in December that you are excited for. I'm always curious to get recommendations, you know that. And I'll see you all soon in my next video. Bye-bye.